Welcome, people. It's your boy Into Spurs back here with another match reaction. We lost again. 2026. We haven't had a single win. You know, I came into this game really optimistic, and I said it was a must-win game because really and truly, Tottenham are really facing relegation. 2-1 Fulham, and you know what? That first half was awful. There was no positives from minute 1 to even minute 90. We were the worst team, and in my opinion, we deserved to lose. The standard as well is just not good enough. You know, not good enough. Our interim manager is not. It's like it's not working. It clearly isn't working, and I don't know. Look, I don't know what Tottenham has to do to pick up wins, but under Igor Tudor today, you know, it was really disappointing. You know, we're 10 games in the Premier League without a single win. Today's result we're now sitting in 16th place. We're lucky that West Ham and Nottingham Forest dropped points because we would be further down, in my opinion, or we might still be 16. But first half, in first half, I'm still annoyed. I tried to just take a little break after the game because I wanted to watch a bit of the Arsenal game in it, and yeah, but I'm just my mind has gone numb. But going on to first half, innit, Fulham had a early chance around 7 minutes, where Harry Wilson scored half a volley. I don't know what you call it nowadays. I think that's a volley, really and truly, innit? And it put us 1-0 down in such a clinical moment where we had to like ride the wave of Fulham just attacking, you know. So conceding so early, it just wasn't good enough for Tottenham. We had to keep that game close, even if we were thinking about trying to score later on in the game. We had to keep that game close. We had to keep Fulham at bay, and we simply couldn't. Spurs struggled to deal with the early intensity, in my opinion. And what tops the whole thing about the game is around 34th, I think it was 35 minutes, Alex Iwobi, you know, that ex-gooner, bruh, slapped, he slapped it in the bottom corner, and yeah, we went 2-0 down, you know, and honestly, that first half, Fulham was all over us. We didn't have the possession. We couldn't pick our passes off. Kolo Muani struggled, like he made good powerful runs down the line, but we just was not creating anything clinical in that match, you know. And Alex Iwobi just slipped it in the bottom corner. Nothing that Vicario could do in it to make it 2-0. And honestly, when that second goal went in, I started to believe, like, you know, we are in so much trouble. Like, because you even saw on the players' face the way they reacted to the second goal going in. It was like, yeah, we're in total doom, you know. And I think that was mainly all the chances that happened first half. In fact, there was one more chance. I can't remember the player's name, but Fulham was given a corner, and the corner was drifted over. I think it was Alex Iwobi that passed it into the centre, and whoever that player was, he mishit it, and it went above the bar, you know, and that could have been 3-0 down, you know. We were riding our luck that first half. That first half performance was absolutely insane. We didn't have no balls going forward. We didn't challenge that back line. I don't even think we had a shot. I think we had 1 or 2 shots on goal, but nothing clear cutting edge. And that is the story about this game. We just didn't create enough chances. The press, the mid block, this is what I saw. The mid block, Fulham played around our mid block, you know. It gave Fulham opportunities to counter attack as well, you know. So like the mid block just simply didn't work against Fulham. Now that was the first half, and I think yeah, cool. We've gone in, and I was expecting, yeah, we need to bring on some changes, because clearly these players that are on the pitch were not looking like they were up for the cause, you know. So essentially, we come out of half time, and I actually let me make it clear. We started that second half with the intensity that I felt like, yeah, cool. Igor Tudor has told them to do to push up more, be more expansive. We did start to string a few passes together, but it was still missing the clinical edge in terms of we just didn't have the right players on the pitch. You know, I felt like Paulinho and Basuma were too defensive, so they didn't offer anything going forward. I also felt like we just needed to play some one-touch football and try and get the ball towards our attacking options. So then I think around 66 minutes, if I'm not correct, but 66 minutes, Igor Tudor decided to make a triple substitution, you know. He decided to bring on Telly. He decided to bring on Richarlison, and he also who was the third substitution? It wasn't Sousa, because Sousa came on after. I can't remember who it was, but we brought in three substitutions in that clinical moment, which honestly, it worked. You know, the players came on, and Telly was causing chaos against their left back. You know, he was actually running in behind and actually giving us another avenue to attack. And during that first half, we attacked down the right. The second half, I think bringing on Telly gave us the options to actually push more players forward, you know. So Tell needed to come on. He actually performed pretty well today, you know. And I think there was just a moment around in fact 66 minutes was the goal. In fact, now I'm remembering, I think these players came on around the 63 or 60th, but around 66 minutes, I think Tel got on the left side, and he was running rings around that defender, and he was so, you know, he done it so well, like he was going to dart and cross it in, and he laid it off to Archie Gray, and Archie Gray ended up crossing it deep to Richarlison, and Richarlison was open and scored the header, and that brought the game to 2-1, you know, which brought some more belief in that squad. And I think from that goal, from that actual initial goal, we needed something to hold on to, something to jump onto. You know, the game was drifting apart from us, 2-0 down, away from our home. You know, we needed something to go in at that point of moment, and that goal kind of like went in at the right time, if you think about it, because then after that we had multiple chances. I think we started to put the pressure back on Fulham. We started to control the pace of the game. You know, I think the stats show that we definitely had more shots than Fulham. So from that first half to the second half is totally different. It's a different kind of game plan. And yeah, we were just putting more balls into the box and getting into a more attacking positions up the field, right? And look, even though we put so much pressure against Fulham, we just couldn't. I think we left the game too late, in my opinion. We couldn't manage to score. Like we just couldn't. And I think when we brought on Sousa, I think Sousa played well as well, because there was a opportunity where Sousa squared it to Papa Matasar, and I actually thought that went in. You know, it went side netting, and ultimately I was like, yes, that's it. We've at least taken a point. But It was just too late. Too late. Fulham definitely dominated in large spells and should have perhaps had more goals, you know. They missed key chances because there was chances in that game where Fulham could have just put us to sleep. Tottenham's defence actually looked really shaky throughout, you know. There was no creativity through the midfield, you know, like we struggled to bring the ball from upwards. Just talking about a moment when the second goal went in, because I realised I missed this while I was actually talking about the match reaction, right?
Message on this phone.
The second goal should never have been a goal, in my opinion. This is why. The same thing happened to Kolo Muani at Arsenal, where he scored a goal and his two hands were apparently classed as a push, which, cool. They said it's a push. So that's why a goal wasn't allowed. The same exact thing happened to Dragusin. The same exactly the same. He was pushed off the ball, but they classed it as a goal. If he wasn't going down, I think VAR is a part of the problem. Referees are a part of the problem. All of these things are part of the problem. I just can't understand why that opportunity, it should have been the same. We should have, in my opinion, it should have been a foul. It shouldn't have been a foul. And I'm struggling to understand what VAR is there for, you know? But yeah, we lost again, 2-1. We're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. Deep, deep trouble. Yo, people, follow me on Instagram. That is 0TJ. Follow me on Twitter. That is Spursy Talks. Like and subscribe.